Shout out to Osaka. For them, it might have been too late. But here we are, fed up with the accumulated toxicity from generations of compounded destruction that is inescapable. And we want a better way. We seek to think better. We seek a better way. We eat better. We do better. We cherish our black lives. Time is an illusion, so please tell me, how can it lie? The trauma lies in the blood and in the frame of the mind, birthed in oppression and dipped in genocide. The state of the world is the result of physical burns, slashes, lynchings, cotton and wooden chip. Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to an episode of Tea. I know it's been quite some time. We've been... I can't even give you a full explanation on what we've been doing. I mean, I know that Meg has her own show, Free and For All. Chaz has his own show, They're Conservative, and I have my new own show, two shows actually, Revolution News Link and Find Your Boots. However, we are expanding and growing very fast, and we have new shows coming at you. I'm sure you have heard about Shower Talk and Go Ask Your Mother. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. They are coming soon as well. And tonight, this evening, Meg should be joining us soon, but I am also joined by a guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Peace. Loving a whole lot of peace. My name is Sino. I'm here with the show, and I'm here for the people. I appreciate you having me, John Tell. Thank you. And I'm here for it, bro. All the tea, all the conversation. We the people.
Yo, it's always a pleasure to have you. It's an honor. And let's get into it, because, you know, you and I can always have some commentary about a lot of stuff. Now, you and I have talked about this briefly, and people, I don't know if you are aware, if you are not aware, but the other day, there was a drag show that was supposed to take place at some small bar or restaurant in some small town in North Carolina, right?
Wow.
So a bunch of white Christo nationalists, neo-Nazi type of mofos, whatever you want to call them, showed up to this county, not just the town, but the county that this town sits in, and they basically shot out two different transformers, which knocked out power to 40,000 people, all because of one drag show. And, you know, people have different viewpoints on things. Maybe majority of those 40,000 people, whether they supported the drag show or not, could care less. They weren't going. I'm sure they didn't want to have their be without power for a night just because someone in the next town over wanted to have a drag show. I don't think they really cared. But I can guarantee you that they're pretty inconvenienced at these racist people. But you know what? This is just but a taste of what is going to happen.
Yes. And
I want people to wake up and understand that this is just but a taste of what is going to happen. And this document that we're looking at right now is speaking to that. This is the National Terrorism Advisory System Bulletin for the United States of America. Summary of terrorism threat to the United States. That is alarming, people. How many people have gotten wind or been talking about this civil war, these QAnoners, these Trumpists? How many times have you heard them talking about a civil war? You know? And the thing is, experts have said that a war, and particularly a civil war, is coming, but not in the way that people will think that it will be. It's not in the way that we can necessarily see, feel, or tangibly grab onto. It's going to be in a multitude of different ways, from a multitude of different pockets and demographics of people, I believe. And I think that it will be semi uh digital. You know, there's lots of hackings that can be considered war as well. I think what people think of as war and what is now war today are two very different things. And media will portray one type of war without portraying the other.
I'm a do what I normally do. And I think people are gonna get used to it. I'm gonna play devil's advocate again.
Haha.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna say what I said before. It is designed for this.
Mhm.
I actually did. I didn't look too much into it with respect, but I do know what occurred because I stay in tune. But I looked at a bunch of those guys that were walking. I looked at their organization skills. I looked at their communication, and it seems like just a bunch of people gathering just to oppose things.
Yes.
It's planned, and it's planned with a bunch of people. Those guys look like, excuse me, but sorry, but not sorry. They're runts. They send a bunch of young boys out with a bunch of masks on and make them say stuff. If you listen to their dialogue or their language, which most people don't, and I do, you can hear they have no education. They have no understanding of what they're doing. They were told to recite this and walk like this. This is all planned. Now, us as the people, we need to notice this, Chantel. We don't see this. We're going against, ooh, not we. Let me take a few deep breaths.
We're taught to shut up, fall in line, go back to work, eat your cheeseburgers and shop at Walmart and shut up and don't think for yourselves because the white racist people are coming for you. They're going to take your property, they're going to boot you out on the street, make you a criminal, or they're going to kill you.
Well, yeah, you're right. And let's find where the attention is. Let's go to the LGBTQ community. At first, it was the quote unquote Black Lives Matter, BLM. Let's go and radicalize their shit. Let's go do this. They're standing up for something. Let's do something to throw it off. It's a distraction. It is what they're planning to do. This is all part of it. And us as the people, we need to stand. Ain't no way in hell they can come to a town and shut down power. Who is allowing this? Where's our law enforcement? Where are the people at? Well, if we don't stand for something, we're going to fall for anything. And that's what they're showing us, that we don't have any power. We don't.
Right. And they're showcasing it to us time and time and time again. Oh, good point, Will. That's how the railroad union strikes are a weapon in this war.
Wow.
Right.
Railroad union strikes. Wow.
Now, that's another thing because there's so much going on right now, y'all. There is so much stuff going on in the world. Yes. People are actually worried about Christmas and what's going on shopping. But there's so much going on right now that y'all really need to be paying attention to. Why is it that when the one time where there's everything Democratic, Democrats actually shit on the people that they're supposed to be supporting them? So what does that say about how Democrats in power think about the actual Democrats that are voting for them and supporting them? Hey,
can I piggyback off that real quick?
Right ahead, bro.
Just off the fact that we just said about the railroad, the railroad strike. Do we remember that the Canadians are protesting in their trucker strike? That still exists. Do we know how that plays into it, how that ties into each other? Are we not paying fucking attention? Now we attack a community. We attack some people that ain't bothering nobody. And excuse me if I'm wording it wrong. I had somebody correct me today that you should ask. What is the proper pronoun? Him, her, he, she. I don't know that. I'm unfamiliar, so please don't beat me up about it. And I need to learn knowledge because they are the people, we are the people. But to attack a group of people for standing for what they believe and for it to be okay. You know what I noticed when law enforcement indulges in these things? When they face a certain crowd and turn their back to a certain crowd, do you know who it's facing? Do you know who they're facing? We're fighting a war here, you guys. This is a war. And it's a war against the people that believe in we the people.
That's right. Because if you look at this, I'm gonna read this summary real quick. Because if you listen to this language, and at first I did see an article, I think it was by the Washington Post, that did speak at first about the LGBTQIA plus community, but they expanded that to speak on Black people, all minorities, all religious minorities, and LGBTQIA plus people. So it's basically racist white people against everybody else. It's So I'm wondering, what have they found? What damning evidence they have found to substantiate these claims to make it out an outright call to action for the world, for the country to know about? Because any other time they haven't made it outright known like this, as far as I'm concerned. So it's just very interesting. So the summary of the terrorism threat to the United States. The United States remains in a heightened threat environment. Lone offenders and small groups motivated by a range of ideological beliefs and or personal grievances continue to pose a persistent and lethal threat to the homeland. Domestic actors and foreign terrorist organizations continue to maintain a visible presence online in attempts to motivate supporters to conduct attacks in the homeland. Threat actors have recently mobilized to violence, citing factors such as reactions to current events and adherence to violent extremist ideologies.
Homeland.
Homeland. In the coming months, threat actors could exploit several upcoming events to justify or commit acts of violence, including certifications related to the midterm elections, the holiday season, and associated large gatherings, the marking of 2 years since the breach of the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, and potential socio-political developments connected to ideological beliefs or personal hostility. Like we just saw with the Club Q shooting, that was on the day of transgender remembrance. So that is a significant day for transgender people when they're already vulnerable and under attack. They knew that.
I think they're looking for a way to attack, and they're not getting what they need to kick this off. Excuse me if I sound like I'm hood, but they ain't getting what they need, and they ain't getting the fire they need to kick this off. And as long as we continue in this state of mind, we as the people, they're going to continue to try to empower themselves. Every move they make is empowering, whether we know it or not, whether we choose to admit it. This is empowering us sitting back, letting this happen. They're grabbing the news. They're grabbing the media to the point where this is an independent media program here. We have to spend our time talking about these people when we should be spending it talking about uplifting. But this is needed. This is needed. And this is what they base it off of, brother. They can gather our attention and distract us with certain things. They've already planned. They're on the next move. Right. I saw those guys get in a U-Haul.
This is indicative of us being behind.
Yeah, we're behind. We're definitely behind, and they plan. I'll give a good example. When Obama was in office, his preaching was about forgiving us for our loans, and we need nurses. We need people in the medical field. You know why? They knew 4 years ago we were going to have this pandemic. So he said it. Everybody, we're forgiving loans. Everybody go to school and become nurses. We're going to need them. You know why? Because the pandemic was on the way. So then we get this quote unquote president in office, and he says infrastructure. You know what that means? That means shit is gonna be tore up. Shit is gonna be bombed. He says, go everybody. You don't need a college education to learn how to build stuff. You know why? Because he know war is coming. And we're gonna need Americans to rebuild this.
Talk about it.
It's coming, brother. It's here. And it's showing even more now because the attack on humans. You could call yourself a dresser, and I guarantee they come up with a rebellious group for that. We're against dressers now.
Right. The thing is, though, there's a lot of other things that are happening that they're not talking about either. Like there's worldwide, even nationwide, that they're still not touching on that are going to affect our infrastructure as well. So you bring up a really good point, like the fact that the gas crisis, the world's supply of oil, like it's public knowledge now.
You know why?
If any catastrophe happens, we are fucked. And
guess what? They're in control because they control electric. It's a control thing. Everything's going digital. They can control it at the punch of a button, Chantel. That's what it's about. It's control. They're controlling things. We want to go electric. They can't control gas because you can go in any country, well, not any, and dig for gas, oil.
Thanks.
They can't control that. They're at war to try to control it right now, and they can't. And they know they can't. So that's why they come up with these and lock these people in rooms, and let's try to figure out how we can come up with a way to not depend on oil. Electric. And we're in control of it. They can't control the oil. Hence the war with Putin. I won't get into that right now. about the pipeline and how that started many years before our knowledge.
We definitely do have to get into that sometime because that's definitely a topic that I'm sure you're knowledgeable about. I am, and we could go in because that's something people need to hear.
Yeah.
What's going on? Thank you for joining us. Let me finish this up real quick.
I'm sorry, my bad, Jontel. I apologize.
No, you are perfectly good. We need commentary and to break this stuff up and explain what a lot of this stuff is about is important. So, because this is not just about the LGBTQI plus community anymore.
Shit, Jontel, they're saying they're spreading it online. The second I say, hey, I'm against people in Bedford, PA because of this, or I'm against Pennsylvania because of this, they block us. But these people they're literally posting it online saying, oh, these people are making online statuses about gathering in a group and going here and disturbing here. They're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But, who's allowing this?
So listen, so that's another example of that would be what we're witnessing with Elon Musk right now. He's tried to take every restriction down from Twitter and realized how important it was to have it. But guess what? Discrimination and racist acts against Black people has went up to like 200% it shot up. He knew that. He knew what he was doing. And it's the same thing goes on Facebook too. When we try to clap back when people come at us with racist stuff, we try to clap back and we're the ones that get silenced for it. They're able to do whatever they want. So what does that say about Facebook too? What does it say about all of these platforms? TikTok, Twitter, they all do the same thing. They are disproportionately discriminatory against Black people. Unanimously, I'm saying, because it is what it is. You know what? And you know, no, I'm gonna say this because they spoke up, and I'm gonna let y'all know, like I'm a part of the LGBTQI plus whatever community, but I'm also Black. Black is what you see. Black is what you get. That's what I'm gonna talk about. And at the end of the motherfucking day, that's not getting talked about enough, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, my queer rights are taken care of. Do I still need to continue to fight for them? Yes.
Yeah.
Are there people a part of my community that are still more oppressed than me and I look to them and I'm trying to uplift them? Yes. But I'm more concerned about the Black trans women and the Black men that need help. And it doesn't matter if they're gay or not. I don't care about that. The fact of the matter is everybody else, and this is not an oppression Olympics, so before anybody else want to call that shit out, that is not what I'm saying. So listen to what I'm saying here.
Facts.
Everybody else has laws written in the shit saying that their rights are protected. Where's Black rights being protected? Period. And when we try to step up and say and stand up for ourselves and say what's going on, they'll gaslight us and bully us to beat us back down to where they feel as though we should be at. I'm done. Now, I'm sorry, I went off a little off track there real quick.
No, because you're right, Jontel. You are right, man. And it's something that we repeat on the daily. We're still fighting for the same rights. And again, here goes Mr. Devil Advocate. They're not written for us. I used to ask myself, what are we fighting for? What are we fighting for? If this shit isn't written for us, it's meant to oppress us. What are we fighting for? Well, I'm gonna fight.
We're wasting our time. In that sense. No, you're right. We should fight, but we should be fighting in the sense that we know is actually doing something.
Yeah.
Not like jumping
not
in
just fighting just to fight.
Right. If we know there's quicksand there and people are saying like it's fucking there's red tape all around it, why would we jump in that sand pit when we know that the fight is on the volleyball court?
Church.
You know what I'm saying? So yo, no, Will, you're on it, and I totally agree with you. Why is it that the American children list influencer as their most desirable job? Well, what does the media throw at them? Not only that, these people, I'm not even gonna hold it because these young kids are smart. They see what is the most valuable thing out there. They see what has happened with the economy. They see what has happened with inflation, cost of living. They see that they can't get a house. What are they going to do? They're doing what they can in the environment that they have. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, you good. He said, I'm sorry, everywhere today too. I'm just seeing the connections. And that's what we're breaking down. There's no rhyme to rhythm of today's episode. Honestly, I'm a little angry and there's too much shit going on out there. And usually I like to compartmentalize things and throw it into shows for y'all and say, this is what's going on here. This is what's going on there. No, there's too much going on right now, and we need to just address it.
Resources to stay safe. Be prepared for emergency situations and remain aware of circumstances that may take place at your risk. That's some shit you say when we having a catastrophe, when there's goddamn earthquakes and shit, when we're talking about hurricanes. Instead, we're talking about some radicals getting online and showing up where they're wanted, and then the authorities standing on the side of them with their back facing up and telling us, you guys just go, or this shouldn't be going on, or what?
So in other words, this is a setup.
In so many ways. It's there. Now look, what we do matters. I'm not enforcing war. I'm not saying violence is okay, but you don't just sit back and let people do shit and don't do. This is America. America is built off war. I keep saying that.
Talk about it. It's our economy. It has racism and war.
Yeah, and if somebody comes to the U.S. and causes a problem, what does the U.S. do? They defend themselves. Now we're on U.S. ground. We're not expected to defend ourselves. We are the Americans. We are the people. Stand up. Let's stand up and defend them. When these people come around, we stand there. Let's get in their face. We should be. I'm not encouraging war. I'm encouraging standing up. We are Americans. We have rights. We're citizens here. Their right to stand up is just as much as ours.
Resistance and revolt is so different than riot.
Say that.
I mean, it's a big difference. And if anything, I think real American values fall on those pretenses.
Well, first you got to consider us Americans first. You can't just give us African American names or that. You got to consider us Americans first. And until then we're just gonna be just right here, a number. We're cattle.
That's exactly what
when they send their people to show up to shut us up, that's what the fuck we're supposed to do. Sit back and shut up and be quiet.
That's right.
That's the American way, especially for our kind. You sit back, shut up.
You know what?
We'll modify your podcast. We'll do this and do that, but be prepared for emergency situations and remain aware of circumstances that may take place at risk. What? Make note of your surroundings in the near. Are we in Afghanistan some damn where? Are we fighting for land now? Are we fighting for freedom? What are we fighting for? What the fuck is at stake here? I'm sorry, Chantel. I drift, man. I drift.
No, you're good. I think what's at stake here is what little bit of livelihood non-white people have had is going to be taken away. And this is not just from a racist white supremacist standpoint. I think this is from a capitalist standpoint altogether. Because if you look, white people are getting right from underneath them too.
Yeah.
Okay. The middle class, they want it to be no more. Home ownership, they want it to be no more. They want a rich class and a poor class. That is clear.
That's it.
But that's neither here or there. This specific topic though, real quick, because in the article they kind of made it. They put racial and religious minorities to the top of the article and kind of tried to downplay LGBTQI plus, and I think that's because the original article was the other way around. So I think they're noticing trends and arguments here because this, like you said it. This has got to be some kind of setup because it's fear mongering. With that being said, I do want everyone to take this serious, as you should, because it's been proven that we've known since at least 2020 that this was coming. Yes. They've been preparing for some kind of war, yada yada. We knew this was coming. We ain't stupid for the folks that have common sense that have been paying attention. We knew this was coming. However, it was a matter of how and when, all of that. So this document here is not that big of a surprise. For me, though, it's the wording of this document that I do find kind of shocking. And even the fact that it does say racial and religious minorities, because I really didn't think that they were going to throw black and brown people up in this mix, but they did. Should I be grateful?
What you thought? Where you been at? They got to throw it in. It would supersede their propaganda if they didn't throw it in there.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at too. You're right.
It had to. It had to play a part. And also, it just triggered someone like myself. Like, and with respect, a person like me I fight for the people, but just like anyone else, you fight for what you believe you stand for. And honestly, I'm not too, let me say this the right way. I'm not too familiar with the LGBTQ community. I don't know. So how can I stand up for them or speak for them? You understand what I'm saying?
Guess what?
So when they throw racial out there, they make sure they can include people like myself. They got you with respect. They got our kids with the school. They got religious. They got our pastor with religious. You know what I'm saying?
You got a point. Wow.
So I had to make sure they include this is an attack on everyone except them. If you are part of any one of these, even religion, religion. I mean, not only are they segregating us, but now they're putting you as part of, you know what, that segregation, you can jump over there with them.
Yep.
I was saying it earlier about how religion, the law is based off religion.
Now that's a topic we gotta get into too. Hold on, targets of potential violence include public gatherings, faith-based institutions, the LGBT community, schools, racial and religious minorities, government facilities and personnel, U.S. critical infrastructure, the media, and perceived ideological opponents. Several recent attacks, plots, and threats of violence demonstrate the continued dynamic and complex nature of the threat environment in the United States. This is crazy to see. To me, this is crazy to see the U.S. actually say all of this.
No, keep going. It says recent incidents have highlighted the enduring threat of faith-based communities, including the Jewish community.
In November 2022, an individual in New Jersey was arrested for sharing a manifesto online that threatened attacks on synagogues. The individual admitted to writing the document, in which he claimed to be motivated by the Islamic State of Iraq and ISIS and hatred towards Jewish people.
I'm gonna be quiet.
And let's not forget, as we just talked about the event at Club Q, and then immediately after there was immediately before that there was an event in Slovakia at a queer bar as well that encouraged additional violence. The attacker in Slovakia had posted a manifesto online espousing white supremacist beliefs and his admiration for prior attackers, including some within the U.S. So it's not even just that they're this is supposed to be a domestic thing, but they're utilizing how this is a whole broader conversation. And not for nothing, we've been seeing this go on. Let's talk about the war in Ukraine right quick. So-called war in Ukraine and all the Black people that were barred from leaving the country, discriminated against, and everything else. Okay? So I just find it interesting that they're putting the greater topic of discrimination around the world to add into this. I don't understand. I'm just throwing things out here. I'm not thinking I don't make sense. So
it didn't work with quote unquote BLM.
Right.
It didn't work with Black Lives Matter. So let's try the next thing. If Black Lives Matter wasn't strong enough, how about that?
No, listen to what Will
wasn't a strong enough fight. Didn't nobody clap back? They know they get at the Jewish community, at the LGBT community. They get at these. They're gonna clap back. They're ready for people to clap back. They were ready for BLM to clap back, but they didn't.
Some people find offense to it, but when they say the alphabet group, I don't take offense to it because it is very long. But look, when you got a group like the alphabet group, there's so many different of us. We come from all shapes, sizes, colors, and creeds. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they simplify it, but actually, like, we're Black, we're white, we're this, we're everything. You know what I'm saying? And as he said, it's easier to identify foes by sight if it's color or by sound if it's nationality. That's so true. You got something tangible right there to say, oh, okay, well, we know what you are. We know where to throw you. Y'all need to wake up and pay attention, everybody. Wake up and pay attention. This is not the only story that I wanted to touch on, but this was the main story that I think is telling to everything else. The capitalist master does not want us to see each other as brothers and sisters.
Why would they? When we start doing that, then we can create our own. That means we stop voting for these people. When we create voters blocks, that's what that's about. We stop doing this and giving them the power. Of course, they don't want to see us brothers and sisters. War, guns, violence, jail, prisons, judges. That's all money. When you break it down, it's about the banks. JP Morgan. Come on now. I know what it's about. I know what it is. It's business. We're nothing but business. We need to learn about straw man purchases and all that shit. Entities, being your own entity. We need to learn about that. Until we learn that language, they're going to keep changing words in the dictionary and adding words to it. So we don't get it and don't understand it. We weren't powerful enough in this movement in 2020. When they killed that black man, that was all it took for the U.S. to get on. They killed him on camera. And when they let the man get away with it, that was all we needed. But what the fuck did we do? Sit back and wait. We jumped in cameras. We got cash apps. We got all this other shit. And they said, damn, we can't get what we want right now because they were distracted by things other than us. So let's go at the, what do you call it? The alphabet group. They're powerful. Let's see what we can get out of them. They know they'll get a reaction because they're wrong. And it's enough people that stand up for it.
And we eat it right up.
Right up. So now they can send out all their little right wings, left wings, whatever you want to call them, same fucking wings on a fly, motherfucker. It's the same shit. So when now they can send them out. We can antagonize them now. They're having a parade. Let's send out a U-Haul of these people. Yep. And what did they do? What did we do? We flared the fuck up. And when we flared up, they're like, good, this is exactly what we want. Let's find the next meeting and see where they're at. Let's see what we can do. Let's create this motherfucking division. Those little boys that they send out there are 20, 21 years old. I see them on a regular. With that mask on, they're the shit. With that mask off, they scared fearless. They're fearless of us. Bro. Those boys don't know what they're doing. They're being told to do that. They're puppets. I'd feel bad if I went out there and hurt one of those little boys. I'd rather talk to them. Yep. And that's what we're missing, that dialogue, man. Stop them. Let's not sit across the street and throw our middle fingers up against. Let's walk over there. I show up, I'm walking in that crowd. I guarantee you nobody gonna touch me. And if they do, they're just gonna touch me because they're gonna expect me to react just how they want me to, and I'm not. I'm not. I should. But we need to do that. This shit's going on. That shit happened in Ohio, man. Us standing across the street, we're playing into it.
It's always change comes from doing something different. Doing the same thing every day, and the same thing that our past generations did ain't gonna get us nowhere. We gotta sit and look at what they did and say, what did they not do? What can we do differently?
Or how can we imply what they did do to now?
Right.
Because these motherfuckers still doing the same thing, even though they ain't shooting water hoses at us. Even though this water fountain don't say whites only, it's still the same shit going on. It's still wrongdoing. It's modernized now. And I wish somebody would say I said black or white thing. I'll get to that after the right and wrong thing and see who's doing the right or wrong. Then we can talk about this color or that race or that denomination.
Right.
I'm angry at this shit, man.
You know what I'm really angry about, bro? Him.
Yeah.
I'm hurt and I'm angry. And I'm tired. But you know what? I'm so used to this. I'm so used to feeling this way. And I'm so used to taking this energy and putting it back into where it needs to go. And I want other people to do the same. Stop letting it consume you to pitch you against someone else that's a part of our community. When we need to be coming together to stand up for him, to get more answers. And every time another one of us dies, I see the same narrative play out, and I don't want it to happen anymore. Every time, like I'm seeing brothers down there now talking about why y'all talking shit on me when I'm just trying to get right. I'm trying to get justice for my brother. Why? We all should be marching together. Period. We gotta do different things differently. We gotta assess right? We got to hold accountability, but we have to take a look at what we've done, what we didn't do, what we did right, what didn't seem right. We got to take a look at all that, come together and do something different every single time we come out.
That's the power in the people, brother. And I'll refer to the Queen Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
They swept that under the rug until enough of us got to talking.
That's right.
When we got to talking, then people got to getting fired. It's a shame it took a year later for the same thing we were saying when it happened. And I'm saying that to be saying we need to gather right now and speak on this young man and see what's going on. And until we do, they're going to keep just throwing it under the rug. They're going to call their coroners in to fix this. They're going to call their state's attorney in to fix that on paperwork because there's not enough of us standing together. We have to stand together. And if we don't, this shit is just going to keep going on. And you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
This country is based off war. Until we show the fact that, motherfucker, if you kill me, you kill my people, I'm going to kill yours. Because that's what they do.
It makes our country.
Either that or they negotiate. They say, here, if you let one of ours go, we'll give you. It's a negotiation. They're letting killers go. People that came over here and bombed towers just to get one person back overseas. But they can kill a young black man over here and it don't mean nothing. It's okay. We'll figure out how to sugarcoat it and sweep it under the rug.
That's exactly why a black lesbian millionaire basketball player can't get out that country. Because our country don't give a fuck about her.
Nope. But we'll send for a cameraman though. We'll release a person that bombed the fucking Sears Tower. We'll release him. This motherfucker brought 30 kilos of fucking fentanyl over here, but we'll release him for a cameraman, a journalist. We'll release him. Here, give us our journalist back.
And you know what? On that hand, like I get that because press is important. But at the same time, like
fuck press. I'm talking about a human life, bro.
Listen, I'm saying,
president.
my life is second to the information. Take the information and kill me. At the end of the day, that's a real fucking journalist. I'm just saying.
But what's the information? All I'm doing, the journalist is all he's doing is showing what went on over there. We got somebody whose life that they represent the USA. She represents us. But she can go over there and commit a quote unquote crime that shouldn't even be a crime that America made a fucking crime. Mm-hmm. Yep. Our laws made that a crime, and all these other countries adapted to it. Mm-hmm. They made it a crime because America benefited off it the most, so now it became a crime too. That was another reason. That's a human life. You mean to tell me this motherfucker can live in jail after killing people and putting them in their refrigerator? They'll give him life in jail. But she can go over there. Man, don't start with me, man. Man.
Yeah.
I know I'm on subject and I ain't gonna stop. But I am on subject. Our lives matter. I don't give a fuck what you represent. You're our life.
That is right. Yo,
you are our life. And they make money off you. So you should mean something to them if you don't mean nothing to nobody else. Goddamn. You know? I mean, I'm sorry, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, we on fire today. But you know what? I'm heated as fuck. It's not even just the domestic terrorism situation. It's not even just Rasheem Carter. It's not even just Eric Holmes. It's not even just Jaheim McMillan. It's not even just, let's not forget about Jalen motherfucking Walker like it wasn't 6 months ago, but it just happened. And there's more people in between that we have covered as well. Eric can too. Thank goodness he's still alive. Brother covered by Hall up in Red Wing. And during the mental health crisis, was gunned down by an plainclothes police officer. He was off duty. He just pulled his gun out and started chasing this dude. How was he supposed to know he was a police officer? You know what I'm saying? Like this stuff is happening every single day. But we're walking around like zombies, like, oh, ain't my problem. I gotta go to work and eat. Okay, well, let me know when it happens to your son or your daughter when you want to come get justice. That's right. Our streets, our seats, and our streets. Actually, I don't know if you meant that as a typo, yo, but it's true. Oh damn! It looks like we lost Sino. Come back, but no, seriously, these are our streets. We pay these politicians to kill us, to kill us, and to lie on top of it. Sino, I was gonna run through the full story with you. So if you can get back on, let me know. I'm gonna run through the entire story of Rashim. If I could do it within 15 minutes, I will. I want to take a commercial break in a moment and come right back and then run down Rashim Carter for you all and explain that story. Add the GoFundMe in there and bring awareness to that. All right, everyone. We will be right back. Stay tuned. Yo, we are back and Sino is back. Yo, thank you, family. Yo, this is me. This is not mainstream media, and we do not aspire to be. We will have technical difficulties, and that is all right for me.
Peace, 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 peace.
So, yo, I was going to just give you a little cliff notes on Rasheem Carter for those who are not aware of this case. 25-year-old Rasheem Rael Carter, who's a family man, a very hardworking young man who loves his 6-year-old daughter to pieces. Okay, loves his daughter. His family loves and adores him. He has a smile that just can light up a whole entire room. And
Community.
yes, for real. Like his family loved him. He sold seafood on the side of the road for extra living, but he had just got this new job, this contracting position with Georgia Pacific, about like a half hour from where he's from. He didn't have a car, right? So he had found a coworker who was like, you can catch a ride with me to and from work. He had got this hotel room, which was like I think like 20 minutes from where the job was, right? But walking to and from this job, it would be like 7 hours, right?
Mm.
Keep that part in mind because this is rural Mississippi. And from what I'm being told, anything with a bill in Mississippi, if you black, you don't want to be. All right. So the person that he roomed with, maybe he did not have the money to pay for a hotel room flat out, right? And again, he didn't have a car, so he was staying in the area so he can make the money, right? And there was a coworker slash friend named Eduardo who let him bunk with him, right? Apparently, him and Eduardo had some kind of disagreement, and he was told he couldn't stay with him anymore. Don't know exactly what happened with that, or if Eduardo has anything to do with these other people. Keep that in mind. So I guess the one day he was walking from work, and apparently he had been harassed or threatened or taunted by three white men in a white truck. And he had said this not only to his family members, because he was on the phone with them the whole time during this ordeal because he feared for his life. He stayed on the phone with family members just as anybody else would. It's 2022, but we've been knowing how to protect ourselves and we've been known with the taught. We have been taught certain things about how to carry ourselves in America as a black people for generations, right? So we've all had similar kind of talks, especially if you're in the South. He told his family, if anything happens to me, go look for these people. They did something to me. We don't know the details of that yet, and I think there's a reason behind that. So he went to the police station. The police weren't there or some mess. It was really funky. It was really weird. They met him across the street in front of a gas station. And when he tried to ask the policeman, now you could be a good Samaritan, Mr. Policeman. Like, ain't that what you're supposed to do? Is help out the community? Why can't you give this young, hardworking man a ride back home? Is it that hard? It's 20 minutes away. The cop said, "Oh, it's out of my jurisdiction. It doesn't matter." As far as I know, it does not matter. The cop just didn't want to take him home. He's like, "Oh, well, why don't you just go get another room?" The dude's like, "Well, if you're being harassed and someone was threatening you, why would you want to stay in? Not to mention, maybe he didn't have the money to stay in a hotel room. Maybe he had to get back. And he even asked to stay in the police station until his ride came because his cousin was actually coming to get him. Again, it was like half an hour away. He asked to sit in the police station. The police said, "Oh, no, we don't have room for you. You can't sit here. You got to go." Wow. What you mean? What do you mean? And he dropped a pin on the map so his family could know where he was, right? By the time they got there, he was nowhere to be found. The police, they went straight to the police station when they didn't find where he was. They went straight to the police station because they knew he had went there, right? They had been on the phone with him the entire time. So they got to the police station and asked the police, and he said the police were very rude to them. They didn't give them any information or anything. So they went around looking. They tried to put signs up. People were taking the signs down. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait. It sounds like some just missed. I'm missing something. They went to the police station after he told them they was there, dropped his pin location. They showed up there, and then all of a sudden they go putting signs out. There's an in-between missing. Where the fuck did he go from the police station till then?
Right. No one knows. And the police weren't saying anything. Now, I'm going to give you a little tidbit. They found the remains of Rashim's body about a month later on the private property of someone. Now, the private property owner said that he saw Rashim on a deer cam, but they only got photo footage of his remains. And I'm confused because deer cams, I mean, they could record something, right?
They do.
Right. So there's got to be some footage that we're not getting. We need that footage.
How about the footage from the police station?
That too.
Every police station has cameras inside and outside.
The police aren't really cooperating. They're trying to hurry up and close the case. That's not even the most iffy part of it, bro. The most iffy part of it is the lieutenant of the police department there. The person who reported the footage of, okay, so Rashim's remains were on the private property of the family member of the police lieutenant.
What?
This is not a coincidence. So why is it that they're trying to make this an open shut case when the body was found on the family member of the lieutenant of the police?
Was that his ride home? And then all of a sudden they got to his house and he became a disgruntled black man and didn't want to be there and they had to defend themselves?
Nah, the ride home was from his family member. His cousin, one of his cousins was supposed to come pick him up. So
right. What I'm saying, what was his actual ride home then? Did they decide, yeah, we'll give you a ride home. We'll take you to a picnic.
Exactly.
I'm so tired of this shit, bro. And a lot of people tell me, bro, I believe we should stand up and fight, bro. I think we should do the same thing. The Bible says an eye for an eye.
Somebody knows stuff.
Ain't nobody gonna say shit because they know they're gonna get away with it like everybody else.
There were other people that spoke up. That's why some of this information got out, is because this is a racist area, obviously, but there were racist people that were literally coming out and saying, look, this is what we know, this is what's going on. Leave us alone because we don't want any attention coming to our hick town. That's basically how they were putting it. Like they don't get down with the black people either, but at the same time they wanted to help. It was weird. So there's
do we got boots on the ground there? What's going on there? Where's our people?
from what I saw, now I did get in contact with the mother, and I'm waiting for her to. I just want to give her a little bit of time. But she said she would like to come onto the show and talk. So we will have her on the show to talk a little more. I do want to get more information from her before I start spewing anything else beyond this story, right? So we will be jumping hands down on into this this situation a lot more. Now, from what I did see, there was an action a few days ago. I think I want to say it was like the second or third or something like that. There was an action down there, but from what I saw in the pictures, I couldn't see like the amount of attendance, and not that that matters because you could shut.
Oh,
it
it
down.
does. Oh, it does. Attendance matters because they back up when they see more of us because we the people run it. When the people.
However, studies show that you only need a handful of people to get something going.
True.
That's my point. But you're right. There's power in numbers. Period.
When two or more are gathered, isn't that in the script?
Yeah, you know what? That brings me up to another thing, though. This is Mississippi, and Jaheim's already. You got all these people here for Jaheim as it is in Gulfport. Y'all bring out Taylorville too.
Nope.
These white people shaking in their boots.
Nope. They just proved their point. We can do this, and y'all won't do shit. Y'all won't do nothing. Excuse me if y'all think I'm speaking violence, but fuck you if you think I'm not.
Talk about it.
Like how long do you go on with this? How long is this supposed to go on where we allow stuff? We've walked, we've preached, we've died and said, okay, we've accepted money, we've accepted the fact that we will no longer be anybody. We've accepted all this. How much more are we gonna accept? These boots on the ground gotta mean something. Fuck on the legislature. We put people in office that's supposed to stand for us, and where are we still at the same point right now?
Talk about it. They get sucked right up in the system because the system was designed to work against us.
It's designed. It's designed, bro. The language that they speak, when are we going to start listening? Exactly. We have to listen to each other because we're the ones out here struggling. They're not struggling. When we sit back and listen to what they have to talk about on TV and what they're going through and what these legislators and mayors are saying, they're not out here. They're not experiencing this. We need to stand up, man. We're lacking that. And that's what we're lacking. And that's what these other countries, that's why they create war, brother. Because those countries stand up. You're not going to come in here and take nothing from us and not pay us for it.
Talk about it.
Now, the same thing is going on in their homeland, except they have the advantage because it's their homeland. But we're here too. Stand up.
You know what? We were brought here against our will, but we were bred here. Our ancestors were brought here against our will. We were bred here. We didn't have a say whether this was our home or not, but we live here.
Y'all gave me the title of African American, which gave me rights, which gave me the same liberty to pursuit of happiness like everyone else. And when you violate my shit, I have the right to go against you the same way y'all go against anybody else. I own the same rights you do. Yeah, bro, this is about us. This is about us standing up. I'm not promoting violence. I'm not promoting none of that. I'm saying by all means necessary. If what we got to do is get these people out of the office, what we got to do is not vote, what we got to do is go on strike, what we got to do is march, then that's what the fuck we got to do. Why are we not doing this? And the same actions are continue to happen. They're still killing us. They've sent officers to jail. They've sent mistakenly pulling out your taser. We send you to that shit ain't stopping nothing. The law don't apply to them. They say they go to jail. That shit don't matter. They smile when they say that. We're going to jail. Good. You're putting me with my people. And who's to say these people are in jail? We'll take a mug shot and give them a number. I got to live with that mug shot and that number. They don't. They go to some luxury joint and go be with their people and out in 2 years. You kill somebody and you're out in 2 years? And it's justified because I gave you a badge of honor? Because I gave you a sworn oath? You can get away with killing us? I have to investigate that? Not only do I have to investigate it, it's on camera. We're the people. We need to step up, man. We are the majority. The people are the majority. There's a lot that's going against us, but we are the majority.
You know what? It don't matter what goes up against us because a boat can still ride in the ocean.
Say that.
Feel me? I really don't care what has come up against us because every time I look back and I see how many things were thrown against our ancestors and they still kept going in ways that I could have never fathomed experiencing, but they still did it. I ain't got no excuses. I don't. Because we are here because of them. You know, we are the epitome of their wildest dreams. So think about it. Think about it the other way. Like think about where our successive generations will be, and looking at us like we got to make this shit count, brother.
Yeah. We gotta throw a kink in their game. If not, their plan goes accordingly to how they're doing it. We have to throw a kink in. We have to. Like when 2020 was the kink, we just didn't capitalize off of it.
If you just take one little fucking nail and throw it up on its top, and there's an elephant walking and it steps on that nail,
it's gonna go down.
Yep. You get what I'm saying, right? All it took is that one little catalyst to change everything. We might as well play that gamble and just roll with it and come together. Say the hell with it. The hell with that job. Jaheim's life matter more. I'm gonna take that trip real quick because I can get another one tomorrow, but Jaheim can't get another motherfucking life. And his mother can't get another motherfucking son. Wake up, people. We need every one of y'all. Period. I know we gotta wrap on up. And it's been a loaded episode. Yo, bro, I really appreciate you for rocking with me tonight because you keep up.
Yeah. This is it, bro. We need more of this, man. We need more of this. In closing, bro, I just want to say have love, know love, and be love, man.
Yo, I
need it.
I like that. For real.
Need it.
If anyone watching, please share this stream. Please follow us on all social media platforms. Leon Black and Pay Media. We are everywhere. If you can Google us, you can find all of our platforms. If you'd like to be a guest on the show at any point, because we love to speak to any and everyone and hear your voice, your testimony, you can reach out to us by DMing us on Facebook, Instagram, anything. But you can also email us at theleonblack@gmail.com. You can text us 484-909-0873. Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. And also, I'm going to put I don't have it here. Oh, here it is. I'm going to put our brother Rashim's.
There you go. Look at that.
Because we need the support, y'all. We need the support. Let's get it. Let's figure out what happened to Rashim and get him the justice and accountability and the answers that he and we and the family deserve.
Yeah, brother. You know what? I appreciate that right there. The fact that you're not selfish, bro. Post up for that, brother. Let's get this known, y'all. Let's get his story known. So many stories and so many incidents go on and unheard of. Let's go, you guys. We need this out here.